sight of the stars make me dream. As we speak, as of the filming of this video, Aurora, Colorado is under siege. This isn't breaking news. It's been going on for a while now. It's just now gotten national attention. A gang of illegal aliens from Venezuela have taken over 3 apartment complexes in the city. Tren de Aragua, or TDA, is a gang based out of Venezuela. The gang, which has reportedly over 5,000 members, originated in the Venezuelan prisons. So we can clearly see what is coming across our southern border right now. Mainstream media has just started covering this on a national level, but from everything I've been able to gather, like I said, this has been going on for a while now. One complex was shut down due to code violations. Property management stated that they couldn't get in to fix the problems because the gang had taken over the complex. This is the actual file footage that has gone viral on one of these complexes. This is the film that is getting the national attention. Now, how would you feel if you heard a noise in the middle of the night and got up to see this outside in your hallway? Notice the firepower these men have. Every one of them has a weapon. Some of them have long guns, some of them have handguns. And people have asked me, how did a gang of illegal immigrants or a gang of illegal migrants get guns? The answer is pretty simple, y'all. At least 12 gun shops have been robbed in the Denver area recently. And, you know, it all goes back to the old adage, which is true. If you outlaw guns, only criminals will have guns. Denver and the surrounding area have some of the tightest gun restrictions in this state. This gang is terrorizing poor and struggling citizens of the community because, from what I've been able to learn, all these are low rent or special housing like Section 8 apartments. There's one report that the police were called and asked to perform a health and welfare check on an elderly man that was living in one of these complexes. Now, when the police got there and finally got inside the man's apartment, what they found was a ton of money, a buttload of guns and ammo, and multiple containers of gasoline that the gang's been stealing and selling on the black market. The man himself has never been found as far as the last report I read. The TDA is also terrorizing and intimidating people outside of the apartment complexes. They're in the parking lots, they're on the streets, they monitor who comes in, who goes out, they regulate it. Law enforcement has stated that its hands are tied to do anything about it. But at the same time, there's this video of the interim police chief, Heather R. Morris, standing in front of the complexes with officers going door to door talking to people. She says several times in the video that they just want people to know that they're there and that they care. She also stated that most of the people they talked to said everything was just hunky-dory. Well, bless your heart. You go up to the apartment complex in broad daylight. I mean, literally, it looks like it's late morning or early afternoon. And all these people are telling you that everything is fine. My question is, are you freaking 10 years old? To be an LEO, let alone acting chief of police, do you have absolutely no clue how criminals act? Do you expect to see the gang members just kind of lounging around, hanging out? She says the people we talk to. What she's not saying is the majority of people never even open the door because they don't like the police. And she stated that they told officers everything was just fine. I wonder if she even considered the fact that gang members are skilled at intimidating people. She ever think that maybe the people they were talking to had family members being held hostage, that they themselves have been threatened or intimidated until they agreed to say the right thing? She ever think that maybe, just maybe, they were actually in the apartment, out of sight, where the people were afraid to say anything except what they told them to? You see, this is the way the narrative is starting to turn. They're trying to say that, oh, it's not as bad as you think. It's really not happening. You know, when this first began to get national attention, Colorado's far-left governor, Jared Polis, stated it was all figments of the imagination, that people were making it up, that they were exaggerating everything about it. But after multiple news reports from law enforcement, and, well, the public outcry, he was forced to admit that it was happening. But instead of actually doing anything about it, he immediately, you guessed it, he immediately blamed the situation on Donald Trump and his immigration policies, his border policies. Then he went straight back to doing what he does best in the whole world, traveling the state, pandering to his gaslit base, and hey, looking for photo ops. Well, by the way, Jared, the village people called. They want their cowboy back. Even if you're fat and pudgy these days and still don't have any talent, they want you back. But that's all he's done, which is absolutely nothing. Not one word, not one action to stop it. Just deny it, because that's the way these people act. They figure if they ignore a problem long enough, it will go away. On the other hand, Mike Kaufman, the mayor of Aurora, has a slightly different opinion on it. He stated that Aurora is not now and never has been a sanctuary city. Kaufman said that this entire immigrant crisis is the fault of the current administration's open border policies, and that Aurora does not want and will not have anything to do with it. You see, these illegals are showing up in Aurora. It's a direct result of the overflow from Denver, who opened itself up as a haven for illegals and then realized they couldn't support the massive influx of these people. So they are desperately trying to figure this mess out. They've started rotating people through the shelters. 30 days, you gotta go. They've closed homeless camps. Good idea. Timing's horrible. And the mayor of Denver is desperately begging the federal government for funds to aid them. See, they opened the city up for it. They couldn't handle it. And now the overflow is spilling into the surrounding cities like Aurora. Now, I've been told, and by a reliable source, that they have actually made their way to Colorado Springs. And I've had some people tell me that they're starting to show up in some of the smaller towns south of here. I haven't heard anything from Pueblo yet. But this is what the open border is doing to Colorado and the rest of the country. When you think of violent gangs taking over people's homes, whole apartment complexes, sections of towns, cities, you usually picture some third world nation like Haiti or Venezuela. But this is America, and this is happening right here, right now, right in front of us in the state of Colorado. And speaking of which, I'm tired. I am really tired of people and news anchors telling me how bad California is. I realize it's a deep blue state. I understand that it has a lot of problems and issues. But I tell you what, Scooter, just stop talking for a minute and come live in Colorado for a few years. You will probably be ready to get out in a matter of months. And the sad thing is, it used to not be this way. I moved here in 1993. Colorado at that time was purple to say the least. It was a nice state. It was a great place to live. I mean, there are few places in this country better to hunt or fish. The scenery here it's awe-inspiring in places. But the people running this state have almost completely ruined it. And things like what are going on in Denver and Aurora are proof of it. Like I said earlier, the Aurora police have stated that their hands are tied in the whole thing. Please explain to me how that is. You are law enforcement. The law is being broken. Your name, law enforcement, pretty much explains it all. Go enforce the law. Look, it's simple, Scooter. Get yourself 3 or 4 SWAT teams. Roll up to the first apartment complex. Go in. Yep, you're going to have to go in. Don't be scared. It's your job. You got to go in. Start on the top floor and work your way down, clearing as you go. Go to the next complex, repeat. If you can't get that, if you can't grasp that, please allow me and about 10 good solid guys to come up and show you how. I know some folks who are experts in breaching and clearing areas, buildings, or whatever. I might even remember enough about it to be helpful. And yeah, you're going to get these gaslit idiots whining and crying and saying, but you can't do that. These are people, for God's sake. My response, yep, they're people. They are also criminals. And they were probably criminals in their own country before they came here. And they're here in this country illegally. So yeah, they got to go. Seriously, right now, there are a lot of eyes on Colorado. There are a lot of people watching, waiting to see what the mayor does, to see what the police do, to see what the governor does. And there's a lot of people right here in this state right now that are wondering, am I safe in my own home? Are my kids safe going to school? Is my wife safe going or coming home from work? Hell, are any of us safe while we are at work? This is America, y'all. No one should have to worry over a threat like this. No one. And yet, our own government has brought this on us. They have set this country up for the very thing that is happening in Aurora today. And sadly, Aurora is not the only place where this is happening. I'm getting reports that the gang also has been active in Texas, Arizona, Pennsylvania, California, and New York. I read that some of the gang members that assaulted those 2 police officers in New York City, you remember that? They assaulted the police officers, they were arrested, they went to jail, and they were back on the street by the next morning, and then they left the state. I have heard reports that some of those guys that attacked those officers were affiliated with this gang. Some of those reports that I'm hearing say that they're kidnapping children. In some cases, they're posing as Uber, DoorDash, or Amazon delivery drivers and robbing people, kidnapping people, casing out homes to rob or take over. My advice to you, to each and every one of you, stay alert. Be on the lookout for strange people or unusual happenings in your neighborhood or in your town if you live in a small town. Do not open your door for an unexpected delivery, whether it's food or packages, whatever. Reinforce to your children not to engage with strangers. If at all possible, arm yourselves. Not just when you go out. Keep some sort of self-defense tool easily accessible on you or close to you when you're at home. If you don't have a firearm, get something. Mace, baseball bat, something. Do all these things that you would be doing anyway, or that you actually should be doing anyway, and don't depend on law enforcement to come rescue you. It is totally and utterly ridiculous to me that we have to think this way, act this way in this country. Yet here we are in 2024, and we are witnessing the transformation of the United States into a third world country in real time. We're being sacked and attacked from within. Our government has allowed it to happen. They have opened the door for it to happen. Please, leave a comment. If you've heard of any other incidents like what's going on in Aurora, put it in the comments below. While you're there, take a second, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, leave a thumbs up. But most importantly, the most important thing, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe. Stay alert. God bless you. And until the next time, stay shady, y'all.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. And these shields, boys!